All right, Brian, whenever you're ready.
Oh, yeah, we're recording. My bad.
Oh, shit, okay. Larry, I'm going to give us both twos back there. We weren't in any emotional state to punt. Welcome into the Toon Squad podcast. The quote you just heard is from Bill Murray in Space Jam, and tonight I'm your host, Jeff Hornacek. This is episode 54. We're just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. Let's go around for our introductions. First, we go to the mad scientist, Brian Banner, in his lab. Hey, Banner, remember how I lent you the keys to my car last week? Well, it turns out that car was actually stolen, so you might be getting some weird phone calls pretty soon.
Yo, snitches get stitches.
So does that mean you won't tell on me?
I plead the
Vanna,
fifth.
you owe him a 5-second car.
Great reference. I've always thought myself as like Brian O'Connor, but alive.
Yeah.
And that sends us to our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger. Matt, I know you're waiting back those test results. How do they look?
I mean, my fingerprints aren't on her at all, so I think that I'm gonna walk free.
Oh, sorry.
Didn't Cycling tell you weren't allowed to talk about that, though?
No, I was talking about that math test he took.
Oh shit. Okay,
Oh.
yeah. I'm not supposed to talk about that at all. Cycling's gonna be so pissed.
It's fine.
But yeah, I shouldn't. There's no way. I didn't murder her. Just believe.
Okay. Banner, we can edit all this out, right?
Yeah, totally.
We'll definitely do that. You're good, Geiger. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, and if you comment below, Cycling will see you. So.
Yeah, he sees everything. He's like a fucking vulture.
Best in the biz.
All right, guys, if you have not listened to our show before, or even if you have, thank you for checking us out. And the first thing we begin every episode with is the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chess day. So today, The Hollywood Reporter has learned that Black Panther director Ryan Coogler will be a producer on LeBron James' much-anticipated Space Jam 2. So, directed by Random Acts of Flyness director Terrence Nance, Space Jam 2 will feature LeBron in his first starring role following a successful appearance as himself in Amy Schumer's Trainwreck. Coogler will serve as producer on the Warner Brothers project, which is tentatively scheduled to begin production during the NBA offseason in 2019. So, guys, as diehard fans of the original, few questions here. Number one, what are our thoughts on this news? Number two, what do you want to see in the film? And number three, after we revisited Space Jam for our movie commentary together about a year ago, which, shameless plug, you guys should check out, how does that film hold up for you? So first, let's go to the first question. Banner, to you. What are your thoughts on the news?
Well, first off, I'm very relieved because when I first read the show notes, I thought we were saying that Amy Schumer was in Space Jam 2. And so I'm relieved to know that that's not the case.
So many inappropriate jokes about... Yep.
She's playing Danny DeVito. Okay. Did
Oh.
someone already make that joke?
No, I was going to go for Porky Pig. So more misogynistic, probably.
Oh, the Danny DeVito thing I thought would bet.
Who should be more insulted by that, Danny DeVito or Amy Schumer?
I don't know. Sorry. Okay. At least that joke wasn't made yet. Okay, carry on.
Again, we can edit all this out, and of course we will.
Yeah, totally. I'm actually interested to see who the other basketball players the Monstars are going to steal their powers from. Like, all right, LeBron, that's going to be cool. You know, you want to do your whole entertainment thing, but I want to know who the other ones, like Damian Lillard. Are you going to be in there?
I would almost guarantee Blake Griffin will be lining up for this.
Why?
Because he's funny in commercials. And, like, if you think about the guys who got their powers stolen last movie, while they were, you know, relatively well-known NBA names, we can do better than Sean Bradley, you know?
True.
He was the only one, though. Everyone else, like LJ at the time, Ewing, all those guys were at the top of their game.
Barkley, yeah.
It was,
and
it was only him. That was the only one, Bradley.
So kind of low-hanging fruit here, but there has to be, I mean, Kevin Durant won't do it, but there has to be some joke that the Monstars make about, like, getting him on their team, right?
Has to.
I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity if they don't make fun of him or make some reference like, yeah, Kevin Durant wanted to join us, but we said no.
I think it just depends because I think LeBron and him are still boys, and I don't know that LeBron would
I
do
think
that.
it'd be funny if the Monstars had never been beaten except for once the Golden State Warriors beat them or something like that. I would think that there's got to be some I wouldn't even think that it would be cool if the Monstars were the Golden State Warriors. But I don't know. NBA players are so fragile that it doesn't seem that they'd make that up. But we definitely see why now LeBron went to the Lakers, because he wants to be in LA and wants to make these movies. And I do agree, Jeff. In Trainwreck, he was great.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, I'm kind of down the middle on LeBron. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I kind of like LeBron. But Trainwreck, man, I don't know if I compare it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane, but he was really fucking good. He was really good in Trainwreck.
So the other, excuse me, the other thing that I have to ask is, and obviously we won't know this for a little while, but what do we like? How is this going to set up? Like, are they going to play the Monstars again? Are they going to play just a Monstars equivalent? Because I still want the same premise. Like, they have to get together and prepare for like one big game, which I'm sure they'll do. But how does that work? Like, the Monstars ended last movie, and I know no one here is like a fucking diehard for Space Jam canon, but the last movie they joined the Toon Squad, the Looney Tunes. So like, they can't play them again. So what happens? Any thoughts?
Okay, I'm gonna ask something really stupid. So, this is a Warner Brothers movie, right?
Correct.
Space Jam. Okay, so they can't do any like Disney characters. Like it can't be like Mickey Mouse's team or something. I'm
Right.
sorry if this sounds really fucking stupid, but the Looney Tunes aren't even fucking around anymore, right?
Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, they're not
They're
on. They don't
insanely
have
racist and all this shit because that's why they're not even played on reruns, I think.
allegedly, yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do. Are they gonna just have new cartoon characters? They can't just redo what they did. It's not The Longest Yard that was in the 70s, and they're just gonna redo basically the same movie. It has to be totally different, I think, anyway, or a different story.
Okay, so
Yeah.
wait, Warner Brothers owns them, right?
Yeah,
What else
Yes.
does Warner Brothers own?
Stop.
this
I
is
mean-
not about.
Yeah, what are you going to take a cheap shot here?
Yeah,
What is
of
this?
course I'm going to take a cheap shot.
Also, we're way
How
too
long
deep
have I
into
known
this
you?
conversation without trying to plug that we have done a Space Jam movie commentary, and you should maybe go check it out.
Yeah, I think Banner was going to take some DCEU
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah,
They're-
I know.
yeah,
That's why I
they're
tried
gonna-
to fucking turn right. And
You
plug
sick
our-
fuck! Don't kick them while they're down, Banner.
They're going to play the Justice League. Okay, I'm done.
No, but for real, like, do kids even know who the Looney Tunes are these days? Because they're not on TV anymore. Like, no current iteration of them, to my
No.
knowledge, at least.
Even like Boomerang or anything like that, there's nothing like Looney Tunes-ish that they even play their shit anymore. I think Tom and Jerry's played a lot, but not Looney Tunes.
People
at
might
all.
know who Bugs Bunny is, but don't realize that he was like on a show.
Yeah, I'll say this: I am not like. I really enjoy the original Space Jam. I know it's not a good movie, but it's just really fun to go
Oh,
watch.
it's a great.
But I would actually be fine with this movie being something kind of completely different. I don't know if that's what their intention is, but
But
it
Bugs
might.
Bunny not even in pulp culture anymore. Like Banner said, like you can't even see him if you go to Walmart and buy backpacks or something. Like you could buy a Mickey Mouse backpack now. Like you could buy a Winnie the Pooh backpack, but Bugs Bunny is not anywhere to be found.
You can buy
I
a
don't
Shrek
know,
backpack.
I can imagine though Warner Brothers' plan is bring this movie out with LeBron James, and that'll get them back in pop culture, like churn out the money
Yeah.
machine again, merchandise. I just don't know. I mean, it'll make money regardless. I feel like if you put LeBron James on the screen, like people are going to go see that. To what extent, I don't know. Like it's obviously not going to be $1 billion movie, but I think it'll do fairly well at the box office. I'll be there to see it. Fuck it. I don't
Just
care.
bring back the Animaniacs. Just have them in it. That'd be
Oh, I
awesome.
love the
I like
Animaniacs.
the Animaniacs, Freakazoid. That would be a fun.
That'd be sick, dude.
That'd actually be a pretty nasty starting five too.
Fuck. The Animaniacs, yeah, they're small, but I mean, you need a backcourt, right?
And
Yeah.
Freakazoid, like defensively, he could lock anybody down. He's fast enough.
Yeah. I mean, he'll give you maybe 3 points off, offensive rebounds, but he'll get you a shit ton of boards.
He can hit his free throws too.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't run a lot of ISO for him, but that's Freakazoid's game. All right, guys, before we move on, any last thoughts on Space Jam 2 coming in 2019? Perfect.
Banner doesn't have any thoughts because he's just gonna fucking say something about DCU. Go to the next topic.
Yeah, Banner, we don't appreciate cheap shots on this show unless we think of them
That's all he is.
first.
He's Mr. Cheap Shot.
That's his MO.
I mean, yeah. That's why you guys pay me to be on the show.
He'll kick you while you're down.
You get paid for this?
Well, kinda.
All right, the next part of our show is our protein shake, returning to what we did the previous few weeks where we revisit the stuff that we watched since last episode. So, Banner, get us started. What's in your cup, aka what did you watch since the last time we potted?
It's been a light week actually, because I started playing the new Spider-Man video game. So I've watched half of the second season of American Vandal. Pretty good so far. I think the writing is better. The acting might be a little better. I think the premise isn't as funny, but it's still pretty fucking funny.
I read the premise of it, and it seemed like almost too close to the first season, but
it's debatable.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to watch it. The way that they approach it is it's really good.
So the concept is, and we don't have to get into like the whole premise of it, but the way that they relate it to season 1 is that the two kids who did the documentary, like they get called to basically like help exonerate this kid.
They get so famous.
Yeah,
they even have a murder trial, but they had to actually turn it down. It was like someone actually wanted to solve a real murder trial, but they're like, no, we gotta solve who shit the pants or something like that.
This guy's like, I'm gonna go to fucking jail for my life. Like this kid just got suspended. What are we talking about? They're like, well, this is more our speed. So sorry, Banner, continue.
All right. I also watched a movie on Netflix called After Party, and it's got the rapper Kyle in it. And it's just about him. Basically, he smokes some weed with Wiz Khalifa, throws up everywhere, and then decides he's going to join the Marines. And his best friend has one night to prove to himself and prove to the world to get him signed for a record deal. And yeah, it was a quick, fun watch. It's called After Party.
What the? Where do you find these things?
It's on Netflix.
I actually have a really embarrassing
Netflix. Hey, you might be interested in this. Would honestly freak out the general person.
Yeah,
like,
Netflix is just like, dude, we don't know.
Is it my turn?
What else, man?
I also watched Boss Baby with the family, and then I'm...
All right. Sorry. What? I want to talk about Boss Baby real quick. I haven't seen it, but it's got to be total dog shit, right?
Look at your ass.
It was all right. I mean...
It was... God damn it. I mean, Alec Baldwin basically voicing his Glenn Ross character as an infant. And they quote Glenn Ross, don't they?
Look who you're asking.
Yeah, I mean it was a cute movie. I liked it. I'm not gonna lie. And then I'm really ashamed of this, and a squad blog will be dropping about this. But I watched the entire Spider-Man 3, all of it, every second of it.
And what on a rewatch? I know we've seen it several times, but what were your thoughts? Specifically, the dancing scene in the cafe.
It's really it's an Oscar snub.
Are you still as mad about Topher Grace as Eddie Brock as you were?
Upset. I'm so upset.
Especially now that we haven't seen it.
Hardy. He's like a man's man. Yeah.
In what world do Tom Hardy and Topher Grace ever get cast as the same character?
Somebody fucked up somewhere.
It's just in a world that doesn't make any sense. That was a nice trip down memory lane. Thanks, Banner. All right, Geiger, what's in your protein shake?
I got one HBO Sharp Objects. It's an Amy Adams show. It's set in small town Missouri. My wife watched it. She got me to watch it. I'm from Missouri. I like Led Zeppelin. There's a lot of Led Zeppelin music in it. I'm on episode 5 of 8. And I'll tell you, I'm getting a little cabin fever right now because they're setting up a ton of Easter eggs and not one is dropped yet. But I'm very well acted. A lot of shit's going to happen. It's a great show. So far, it's a really good show. And as long as it ends well, I know my mom's already watched it. She's like, I'm ready for season 2. And she was really into it. The other thing is I've been trying to watch wrestling again, guys. Like I'm the only wrestling guy on the pod. But every time I watch Monday Night Raw, I get so fucking sick of it because it's so terribly acted and so terribly scripted. They don't know how to book anybody. So I watched a Macho Man documentary on Cody that I didn't even know came out 3 years ago after he died in his Jeep accident. Who's probably my favorite wrestler of all time. I've loved Macho Man Randy Savage. And also I forgot how hot Miss Elizabeth was.
What was it called?
It was just called Macho Man, the Randy Savage Story. Fantastic documentary. A lot of the documentaries I don't think go into depth. Like, of course we know his matches. I want to know more in depth about how the guys felt with him on the locker room. Because there's a lot of people that I'm like, God, everyone hated him backstage. I didn't know that. And there's a lot of wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Bret Hart, a lot of them talking about how Macho Man like shaped their career, how they liked him, how he took some stuff too seriously and stuff. Fantastic documentary. If you're a wrestling fan, a must watch for sure. It was fantastic. One of the best wrestling documentaries I've ever seen, actually.
Damn. I didn't even know that existed, to be honest.
It's
Which is kind of...
fantastic.
I watched the Andre the Giant documentary a while back, and when I was in that craze, I would have been all over this, but I still...
Andre the Giant, not as good, especially for our generation. For me, he was just kind of a big guy, but Macho Man, his mom's still alive, and his younger brother, so they're on it too. Just talking about how... Actually, he grew up, he was in the Cincinnati Reds organization. He was going to be a baseball player, and then just couldn't get past AA, so then he decided to be a wrestler.
Well, Cincinnati Reds, not an eye for talent. That goddamn
They don't have a
organization.
goddamn eye for talent organization. It's a damn shame, too. I don't know.
So Macho Man, the Randy Savage story, is that what you said it was called?
And Sharp Objects on HBO. What about you, Jeff?
Well, you'll have to update us at the end of Sharp Objects because I love television shows like that, but if they just tickle our dicks and don't answer anything, I'm out. But if you get some stories...
They're going to tickle my dick too much, but I'm still hooked. So something needs to happen next episode, but so far it's been great.
Guys, I just went to pee real quick. We're talking about tickling our dick. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. I'll fill you in later. We'll just edit it out if we can't make sense of it. All right, I got 2.5 things I watched because I only watched, obviously, half of the other one. The first one, I'm not proud of this, but it was a Netflix movie that my girlfriend watched 3 times in 2 fucking days. And I watched it with her the last time. It's called All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Tell me more.
Bear with me. It's about this high school girl who wrote all these love letters to boys and never sent them out to them. Throughout her life, she just wrote them
That's awesome, man. What else?
I'm not fucking done.
Okay.
Buckle up. It's gonna be a while. And her younger sister, get this, she mailed the fucking letters. Oh my God. And she didn't want her to do that. So, long story short, the girl finds love. I didn't enjoy it, but if you're a girl listening to this podcast, number 1, are you lost? And number 2, you might actually like it.
Tanner, can you cut Jeff's mic off?
The other 2, I'm fine. Get off, I'm not that drunk.
Okay.
The other 2 things I watched, let's right the ship here. A movie called Ted. You guys heard of this? Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane. This is probably the 15th time I've seen it. It's still fucking hilarious. The white trash name scene is one of the greatest things ever. And then one of the most underrated parts of the movie is when they're watching the Cheers DVD box set.
Yep.
In his house. And how they got Ted Danson to come back and record those bits for the movie. And the last thing I watched was actually the second half of Miracle, which was on guess what channel? FX this
USA.
week. No. Actually, that would have made more sense. Fuck. Edit that out too, Banner.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second half of Miracle, and it just made me want to go to war with the Russians for no reason.
I'm doing lots
Although
of
I guess
editing.
we have plenty of reasons. That's what's it. Again, I guess a light week for all of us, but it's only been 7 days since we recorded, and we all have jobs. Although, Banner claims he has a job. I don't know if he actually does.
No, guys, I started playing. I told you I started playing the new Spider-Man game on PlayStation, and I'm halfway through it.
Oh, okay.
I've got 15 or 16 hours into it.
I was gonna say, isn't it an 80-hour game to beat?
Yeah, I'm probably 40, 50% in.
That's frightening. All right, before we move on to the last segment of our show, Banner had a question that he wanted to ask all of us. Brian, I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, guys, I just want to ask our fans if they even lift.
Bruh.
Bruh.
And that brings us
Bruh.
to our question and answer segment. Do you even lift, bruh? Where we dig up a few questions. Please stop, Brian. Please. Okay. I was going to say he'll tire out in a little bit, and then we'll be good to continue. Where we dig up our favorite questions from around the internet and answer them because we can. And our first question comes to us from unknown at Luis_LAFact4, who asks, is there any line from a movie that's been stuck in your head for years? Where were the other drugs going? From Batman Begins has been in my head for a good 2 years. If Cycly were on the pod, may he rest in peace. He actually quotes that line to me all the time when it makes no fucking sense. So he's with you, Luis. Geiger, let's go to you first. Any movie lines that are stuck in your head?
Can I be the first one to take a Star Wars prequel line then?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because it's working is something that we say to each other all the fucking time, even when something is so fucking broke that it can never work in. So I'm probably going to use that one.
We actually say that before every pod.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up. There was something stuck in our garbage disposal the other night, and I got it out. And when I turned the garbage disposal on, it actually kind of sounded like a pod racer. And I said that to my girlfriend, and she had no fucking idea what I was talking about.
Cycling will say it before he has sex with his wife when his boner goes up.
Yep, it's working. It's weird to quote an 8-year-old child before engaging in sexual intercourse, though. I have to say.
Of course, yeah.
Banner, how about you?
So mine's not so much a movie, but it's a TV show, and it's actually American Vandal, 100%. I say that.
Oh, I forgot that's what that's from. That's
all
about
the
kid
time.
Who drank more beers than anyone's ever drank, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And he got the hand job or whatever.
He saw the hand job being given.
100%.
100%. He has a little Elvis in his voice. 100%.
What's the line they say? Is that the most beers you've ever drank? And he goes, "That's the most beers anyone has
ever drank."
Like, how the fuck would you even know that or have a way to quantify that? I have 2 lines for me. The first one, I don't know why it stuck in my head. I think because I've just watched this trailer like 1,000 times. But at the beginning of the Justice League trailer that they debuted after Comic-Con a few years back when we didn't think we were going to get anything, where Bruce Wayne goes, "There is a stranger that comes to this village from the sea." I always say that when I'm like taking a piss for some reason. It's really weird. I like to say it to myself.
Comes in on the king tide.
That was last night. And he turns and looks right at Arthur Curry. It's just a fucking badass moment in the trailer. Think what you want about the movie, but we all were jacked up after we saw that trailer.
Yeah, the trailer's awesome.
And the other line that I always say, anytime I'm clearly wrong about something, like I'll say like, "Oh, this quarterback went to this college." And they're like, "No, he didn't." I'll quote Old School when Will Ferrell gets the bread maker brought back to him that he tried to return, where he goes, "This model?" And he's like, "No, this exact one." So that's a line that I use a lot of time to distract when I sound like a fucking idiot. Frequently on this pod. So, all right. Thank you, Luis_LA_Fact4 for that question. Our next one comes to us from Jared Klein, at Jared_Klein, who asks, "What is the best film you saw this year that wasn't released in this calendar year?" I saw Heat from 1995 for the first time this summer and thought it was fantastic. That reminds me of the Jim Gaffigan stand-up bit where he goes, "I just saw Heat." And they're like, "It's like 15 years old." And he goes, "I want to talk about it now."
That's Pacino and De Niro, right?
Yes, it is, actually.
Okay, yeah. That's a good flick.
Who we will allegedly see again this year in The Irishman, but until I see some promotional material for it, I refuse to believe it.
Picture didn't happen.
Exactly. Let's go reverse round robin. Banner, what's a movie you saw this year that did not come out this calendar year that you liked? Marlboro Man? You could always just go with that.
Is this question 2 or question? Oh, I have my questions backwards. It's question 2, but it's question 3. I actually saw Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, a couple weeks ago. And, of course, I fucking loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, Jared is going to be a little bit upset because his movie was like an old classic. Yours is from last year, and mine is from 2 years ago. So to lessen the blow of him being pissed off, I also actually like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Begrudgingly, I might add. Geiger, you got anything here that we can sort of curb the anger on?
Yeah, actually I do. There's actually a lot of really good movies that I'm aware of that I've actually never fucking watched. And one is my probably my favorite actor, probably not my favorite actor, top 5 actors, Leonardo DiCaprio. I never watched Gangs of New York. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just never fucking watched it. It was on Netflix. Me and my wife are just searching for shit, and then sometimes she'll say, "I've never seen that movie." I'm like, "Are you serious? We need to watch it." And I was like, "Gangs of New York, never saw it." She's like, "We need to watch it right now." She's like, "It's classic Leo. You'll fucking love it." And I'll tell you, man, I was always the guy that's like, "Why didn't fucking Leo get the Oscar?" And now I know, because every movie he's great in, somebody's just a little bit better than him, And
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis is a fucking animal in that fucking movie. So great.
I love John C. Reilly in that. Cameron Diaz, the more I rewatch it, she's actually pretty bad
She
in
can
it.
act. That was another thing that I was really surprised at. Is I love Cameron Diaz. She's great in comedies. I never knew she could do that though, and she was fantastic in that. I'm surprised she wasn't casted more in serious kind of drama roles. But that movie is fantastic.
Her accent bothered me in that movie, but I loved everything else in it. And of course, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis and Leo, that's like Holyfield Tyson back in the day.
Leo,
Banner, are you moving a dead body? What the fuck is going on?
Now, Leo was young in that movie, and you could tell he wasn't where he's at now. He was still a great actor, but when Daniel Day-Lewis came in, you could tell he was just on a kind of a different pedestal than Leo when they were acting.
I bet Leo saw him and was like, I need to be weird like that guy.
He's way better than I thought he was in Last of Mohicans, and he's great in that too. But that's probably the best I've ever seen Daniel Day-Lewis. It was a great movie. When that come out, what, 2001, 2? I don't know. That was a while ago.
It's an old one. We should, I mean, it's a long movie, but I would love to do a Gangs of New York movie commentary.
Oh, God. Yeah, that would get out of hand probably. But yeah.
Probably very similar to our Titanic movie commentary. Shameless plug. Go check it out. If you can listen to us get progressively drunker for 3 hours, you can definitely listen to Gangs of New York.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, because you have more patience than our wives, girlfriends, or mothers do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mine is a movie I talked about a little bit. I think at the end of year pod we did last year, or maybe I hope it wasn't last year because it actually came out in 2016. But it's a movie called The Cure for Wellness with Dane DeHaan and Jason Patric. And I told Cycly about it. It's probably more up his alley than you guys, but it's a story about this kid who like is working a corporate job in New York. And there's this big merger happening, and they need their CEO to sign off to make it happen. But he's been at this like spa retreat for like 2 weeks, and they can't find him. So they send Dane DeHaan to go there and get his signature. And when he shows up, he realizes that this spa is not exactly what he thinks it is, and crazy shit happens. I won't spoil any more for you, but it's pretty fucking interesting. And I hated Dane DeHaan in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I'm sure he just did it for the paycheck, but if you see him in this, you realize the kid has some fucking acting chops. All right, on to our last question from Sam Pappas, at Sam_Pappas, this is going to get out of control, I can already tell. He asks, what is your favorite speech given in a movie? Mine is Pacino in Scent of a Woman. That's a fucking classic, and any comedian that does an Al Pacino speech, that one is in the repertoire. Geiger, we'll go to you first.
Favorite one ever, Matthew McConaughey, Time to Kill, at the very end.
Yeah.
When he's giving the speech and he tells the jury to close their eyes. It goes through the whole thing about how the woman was beaten and whatever. And then at the end, it's like, imagine she's white, because everyone's in. Whenever you see that, hopefully not everyone. Most people aren't racist, but sometimes you might have racist tendencies and stuff. And whenever you think about that, you think, man, sometimes I do look at this life with blinders on, and I need to kind of look at the bigger picture. That is McConaughey, man. I love McConaughey. I love that he like is a druggie and fucking has fun, but he can fucking act, and that movie definitely showed it for sure. That probably one of his best roles.
That was beautifully put, Geiger.
Thank you.
I'm shocked. I'm at a loss for words. Very well said. Banner,
did you think that I was going to do something stupid and like?
No, that was like very articulate. I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay.
Banner, what's up? What do you got?
So
back on my
mine is character Fred Young, played by Ray Liotta in Blow, when he's talking to when he's talking to young Johnny Depp when they're leaving the bank, and he says, sometimes you're flush and sometimes you're bust, but when you're up, it's never as good as it seems, and when you're down, you may never think you'll be up again, but life goes on. And I kind of went a similar route as you, Geiger. Like, those are kind of words to live by. If you just close your eyes and think about that and reminisce on where you were and whether things are going great or things are going bad, you still always keep going. And it always makes you be who you are today for those good times and those bad times. And I just, that line, ever since the first time I saw it or saw that movie and heard that line, it always stuck with me in a good way.
Well, another honorable mention with that movie is whenever he's about to get busted for the last time and him and his dad are sharing scotch at the dining room table. And he's like, "Is this the last time I'm going to see you?" He's like, "Man, I hope not, Pop." And it's like, "Let the sun always be upon your face, and the wind at your back."
Yep. And then he says that the same thing whenever his dad's about to die, and he gets to record the little tape recorder when he's in jail.
Yes.
That's another really good one.
See, everyone thinks we're funny. We can do fucking drama shit too. If you want us to actually dissect movies like all those douchebags that do fucking movie reviews, we can do that shit with the best of them too.
Well, I fucked up because I didn't.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
I didn't take this as seriously, guys. So I'm sorry. I actually have 3 real quick ones. First one is Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks in Miracle. Tonight we skate with them and we take the fight to them because we can. That's just a great fucking line. I always watch that before I'm about to go play beer pong.
Yep.
And I usually don't lose. The other one, Sam, I got to just take this from you. Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday. Yeah. The inches that we need are all around us. I say that anytime I just can't get my erection to where I need it.
Just go in the mirror. You look yourself in the mirror.
Rises, the Alfred thing.
Yeah. I swore to them I will protect you, and I haven't.
I was like, you're running out of voices to do, so the third one has to be.
It's an honorable mention. The last one, though, and I can't remember if I won the Bro vs. Bro of Armageddon vs. Independence Day, but I should have with the quote that Bill Pullman had. Where he goes, "We will not go quietly into the night." That quote, my God, dude. I mean, you almost forget how fucking stupid like he's amping people up for, like they're going to fight aliens, because you almost think it's like something actually important that they're to do. Like it sounds like a quote from a real war that like an actual general would have given.
So what you're telling me, if aliens came, you're telling me if aliens came, it wouldn't be important to fight them?
Nah, whatevs, bruh. It's a slow Tuesday for me. Aliens invading.
We all know my theory on aliens. We're more likely to.
Kelly dissing Eminem. Wake me up when that fucking happens. But aliens, fuck that. Who cares?
I'm just saying it's more likely we're going to get invaded by aliens than a zombie apocalypse.
And on that note, we have been the Broforce Squad podcast. For the mad scientist Brian Banner and his crackpot theories,
just think about it.
I will. And our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger. I've been the mayor, Jeff Hornacek. Thank you guys for listening to us. We really do appreciate it. Give us a follow on Twitter at Bro4Squad. Tell us what movies you want us to review or do commentaries on next. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. You can find us there at Bro Force Squad, 3 words. And check out everything that we're doing in that squad blog that Banner's about to drop very soon on our website, broforcesquad.com. Till next time, we'll catch you later.
I'm serious, guys. Think about it.
I know.
We have the medical technology to fight zombies off. Aliens, if they're coming here flying through space, we can't fly through space.
Hey, why don't we just figure out old age, how to not die from that?
No, 8 zombies. Hard out with the spoon.